Here with the head coach of IU Volleyball, Sherry Dunbar, as we wrap up what is another great season in the books for Indiana Volleyball, the 2015 season. We're finished with it. We want to talk about a lot of great things. We'll start with accomplishments. Let's start with the team accomplishments. Sixth time in the last 25 years with 10 or more non-conference wins. You all got off to a hot start with a 7-match win streak locked in there. And I know you're a very unselfish coach, but I want you to be selfish here for a second. The 9th straight year that you've won a non-conference tournament title, what does that mean for you?
The tournament title doesn't really mean a lot to me, but I think, having a tougher non-conference schedule and doing better in the non-conference, I think really helped our RPI, and it was something really focused on, and we have to continue to focus on, because I think you look at, not just for us, but for our conference as a whole, you want to get the most teams in the NCAA tournament possible, and with 9 teams getting in, the most of anyone in the country, I think we're proving that RPI matters, and thinking about the conference, as a big picture, and then thinking individually about institutions, we have to continue to do our part to raise the RPI.
For the 4th time in the last 20 years, you won 6 or more Big Ten matches. That's the best record since 2010 also that you have had, finishing the season 16-16, especially towards the end of the season when we were all playing some very good volleyball, beat 2 teams that would end up making the NCAA tournament, going 3-3 in the final 6. What was the difference towards the end of the season that allowed you all to get to that mark?
Yeah, that to me said a lot about our team and just where we came from. And if you look back at our year, I think we had a very good season as far as just kids being bought in. We had very clear goals and an identity that we wanted to play with, and every day we talked about that in practice. And so I think that everybody was on the same page all season long, and we didn't wane from that. And I think that's really important. And so by the end of the year, I think we continued on those things and about improving. So it wasn't just about wins. Everybody knows, we want to win, but you have to stay on your mark. And I think they never came off of that. And so at the end, we were playing our best volleyball, going 3-3, beating 2 teams in the NCAA tournament. And I thought even fought with Minnesota, who was the number 2 seed in the NCAA tournament and has a chance to win the championship this year. So, it's nice as a coach to see that your kids never give up, that they're still focused on improving and getting better, even at the very end of the season when, big picture of not going to the NCAA tournaments and play, and they're just trying to play their best volleyball as a team. So that really made me happy as a coach. And I think it really gave those kids, the thing they were playing for was a legacy of what they were going to leave for this next group and how much potential they could find in this group. And so I think that, even though we didn't have NCAA, I think we still had a why to come to practice every day and to play at the highest level we could.
You talked about hitting your mark towards the end of the season, and a lot of players getting the chance to do that, with Courtney Harnish finishing 7th in digs all-time here at IU. Amelia Anderson finishes 15th in kills. Awele Nawazi 9th in blocks, and she did that in just 3 seasons. For the seniors, what is the legacy that they leave behind for these younger players?
Well, I think obviously play-wise, they've done some really nice things. They've all every one of them have made an impact on our program on the court. But I think it's more off the court, the things we see that linger on afterwards. You don't talk about the stats, once they're gone. It's more of their personality. And I said that to one of our returners about Courtney. I said, what will you say about her when she's gone? And, the things that kept coming up was her work ethic, her leadership as a role model, all those type of things. And I said, yeah, so that's what you're trying to do here is create a legacy of players that want to be like you and continue what you've started. And so I think that's what we look back on those seniors, and all of them have left their mark in that aspect too. And I think that's what they wanted to do. And they really care a great deal about the program, and that means a lot to all of us who have worked very hard to build it, and including them. Everybody plays a part in building it. Every single team, every single group of seniors that comes through, and I think this group has had a great impact on that. Well, I think the key to our serving was our team serving. I think last year we had a couple of servers, and specifically Taylor Lebo, who was great last year and 2nd in the Big Ten in aces. This year we had pressure from a lot of different players, and I think that made a big difference. Allison Hammond really coming on with her serve, a hybrid type serve that really made a difference. But even players like Courtney Harnish, who didn't get a lot of aces, but pressure on them because of her short serving, because of the things she was able to do to break up offense. So you look at all the varieties that we have, Taylor Lebo with the jump top, but Allison Hammond with a hybrid, and Courtney Harnish with a a float short serve. Kendall Merritt, for as small as she is, really driving balls flat and keeping the float serve on them deep. So I think we had such a variety, and we kept pressure on them, and so it wasn't one person doing it. And so, it was that next person up, okay, now your job is to get them out of system. And I thought we were on it from day one all the way to the end, and we were right behind. I think Maryland ended up winning that battle, but I thought that was a huge difference in if we were winning or losing was if we were getting teams out of system, and we knew that was going to be a big key to the season.